ensuring that they got a fair contract.
Now remember, correlation does not equal causation.
And now he's standing in solidarity with us as we fight to keep U.S. Steel from selling out our livelihoods and our communities.
Yeah, we can't sell off our steel industry to Japan because Joe Biden is corrupt and sold out to China. We have to sell it all to China, guys, not our ally Japan.
He has our backs.
We only sell our industries to China. That's the American way.
President Biden likes to say that the middle class built America and unions built.
President Biden also likes to say, my butt's been wiped.
Built the middle class. He's right. But the fight continues, and his support,
hold on, they're too loud, guys.
leadership,
My bad.
his vision help us to grow stronger every day.
How's that sound?
As a Marine Corps veteran and on behalf of United Steelworkers, I'm honored to introduce Joe Biden, the
Boo!
President of the United
To the chief, he's the kitty sniffing weirdo. Hail to the chief, cause he don't know where to stand and talk from. Hail to the chief, cause he's gonna kill your daughters. And if you don't like it, he'll send the FBI to your house.
Please, have a seat.
Boo! President of lies! President of China! President of misinformation and gaslighting! Boo! Boo! That's my Princess Bride. Boo!
Robert, thank you for the introduction and for sharing your story about being a third-generation steelworker and a Marine Corps veteran. Where are you? Over there?
Okay, so Joe Biden starts out his epic speech by mumbling incoherently into the microphone. Let's hear a little bit more of that.
Please, have a seat. Robert, thank you for the introduction and for sharing your story about being a third-generation steelworker and a Marine Corps veteran. Where are you? Over
Is he drunk? I think he just has permanent brain damage, guys. That is a sign of permanent brain damage, is when you can't coherently speak or enunciate properly.
Where's this side?
Right? I have no official classical training in auditory skills. Yet I feel that I do a better job of public speaking than this man who has spent his life in the public eye.
There you are. Well, I want to thank you for your new president, by the way. Dave McCall has been a friend.
Oh, I can't wait till we have a new president. Donald Trump. Salty Gamer, baby, what's up?
Friend of mine and a friend of a former president. We miss him, but it's great to have you, Dave. You've been a good friend. And we're both.
I have no idea what he's saying.
We're both longtime friends of Tom's as well. We miss him dearly.
Tom is probably
Dave, you're doing a great job in
apparently.
his footsteps, and it's just going to get better in my view. There's an expression that comes to mind. You go home with them that brung you to the dance.
What the fuck did he just say? Let's hear it again.
To mine. You go home with them that brung you to the dance.
I have no idea. Can anyone interpret what this fucking stuttering, stammering, marble-mouthed fucking dementia patient just said to us? Right? Can anyone interpret what this means?
There's an expression that comes to mind. You go home with them that brung you to the dance.
I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for words, guys. This guy has brain damage.
And you brought me to the dance.
I still don't know.
No joke.
Let's hear it one more time.
You go home with them that brung you to the dance. And you brought me to the dance.
I think what he's saying is, you go home with them that brought you to the dance, but I can't be sure.
No joke. The mayor and I are buddies. I told the mayor, and I mean it sincerely, the first outfit ever to endorse me as a 29-year-old kid running in a tough year for United States Senate, make me the second youngest man ever elected to the Senate, was a guy named Huey Carcella. And back in those days, we had a big steel workers. We had a lot of steel workers in Claymont, Delaware, where I was from, because
Yes. U.S. Steel is literally 1 mile from my house in Claymont when I lived with my dad. And my dad worked at U.S. Steel. And I can vouch for him. Remember, I went to the same high school as Joe Biden. Claymont High School. Yes, I can vouch for him. That Claymont, Delaware. I actually used to live about 3 blocks over from where Joe Biden grew up. And yes, it used to be full of steel workers before they closed down U.S. Steel in Claymont.
they worked in Worth Steel Company. And I'll never forget coming to me and saying, we're going to get your help. And I came out to Pittsburgh, and steel workers endorsed me. It changed everything. Nixon won my state. Nixon won my state of Delaware with 60% of the vote, and I won with an astounding 3,100 majority. And it's thanks to you. I really mean it. I'm Pittsburgh, and I really mean it. My love for Pittsburgh goes back to my Scranton days. My grandfather Finnegan always talked about Pittsburgh. At any rate, make a long story
Claymont
short,
Steak Shop is the
bottom
best
line,
in the
folks,
world.
on side is I'm president because of you guys. I really am.
The best
proud,
Philly
as was
cheesesteak is
mentioned
actually
earlier,
in Delaware.
I'm proud
You are
to be
absolutely
the
right,
most
Joker.
pro-union president in American history. I am. Well, I was raised, it ain't labor, it's unions. Unions.
Claymont Steak Shop is the best cheesesteak in the world.
Belt buckle to shoe sole. Well, I want to thank some folks who had my back and had to stay back in Washington, couldn't be here today. Representative Summer Lee, and by the way, their vote's going on, and Chris DeLuzio, and Senator Bobby Casey, who's one of my closest friends, as his dad was.
Don't forget Corn Pop.
And John Fetterman, who I want to stay on his side no matter what.
John Fetterman. Actually, guys, I have to say, while he's still not completely coherent, John Fetterman has made a remarkable recovery. I have to give it up to him. I call strikes, fouls, and home runs, and that man got a base hit. I'll tell you that. While I still don't like him, I have to commend him on the remarkable recovery he's made.
Or what? And thank you to all the state and local leaders here, including the mayor of Pittsburgh, Ed Gainey, Ed.
I know you guys don't like it when I give credit to the enemy, but I call him like I
great
see
leader,
him.
JoJo Burris, an Army veteran from a steel-working family. He was my guest at the State of the Union just a couple of years ago. He came back home to Washington, Pennsylvania, and decided to run for mayor, and he won.
I can only understand him because I've spent so much time listening to him, right? If I had never heard him speak before, I would have no idea what he's saying. What up, Freddie?
And he's still working as a steel worker. But that's America. Look, folks, I was almost exactly 5 years ago that I began my campaign for president right here in Pittsburgh, where I announced. I said one of the reasons I was running was rebuild the backbone of America, the middle class.
Oh, my God.
And it was already mentioned 1,000 times, thankfully, since then, that the backbone of America has a steel spine. It really does have a steel spine. You heard me say it before. Wall Street didn't build America. The middle class didn't build America. And
Yeah, we've
you guys
also
built the
heard
middle
you say,
class.
Truman and I'm under pressure.
That's why I'm here today to announce a series of actions that I stand by you, the American steelworker. Look.
Remember, guys, America can be summed up in one word. He literally said that before.
First, U.S. Steel has been an iconic American company for more than a century, and it should remain a totally American company. American owned, American operated by American union steelworkers, the best in the world, and that's going to happen, I promise you.
Yeah.
Second.
Do you guys know what a promise from Joe Biden is worth? Literally nothing. Now look, guys, this is the first time in years that they've shown the crowd that was there to see the president, right? And the only reason there's so many people there is because they are union workers that are being paid for their time right now. That's the only reason why there's so many people there. It's because every person there right now is being paid like $25 an hour to clap.
American steelworkers can out-compete as long as they have fair competition. But for too long, the Chinese government has poured state money into Chinese steel companies.
Yeah, and the U.S. government has poured U.S. money into Chinese army biolabs.
Pushing them to make so much
Under you, Joe Biden, you funded fucking avian flu research in China to make it more transmissible to mammals. And then a year later, we have outbreaks of avian flu in mammals. Coincidence? Maybe.
As much as possible, subsidized by the Chinese government. Because Chinese steel companies produce a lot more steel than China needs, it ends up dumping extra steel into the global markets at unfairly low prices. And the prices are unfairly low because China's steel companies don't need to worry about making a profit because the Chinese government has subsidized them so heavily. They're not competing. They're cheating. They're cheating. And we've seen the damage here in America.
And if anybody knows about cheating, it's Joe fucking Biden. All right.
You know, back in the early 2000s, the Chinese steel began flooding the market in steel towns all across Pennsylvania and Ohio. Between those years, 2000 and 2010, more than 14,000 steel workers in Pennsylvania and Ohio lost their jobs. 14,000.
Yes, that was it. Remember, Joe Biden was vice president during a big giant piece of that, right?
Let me ask you, we're going to let that happen again? No! I promise you, and I'm not going to let that happen again. Look, right now, my U.S. trade representative is investigating trade practices by the Chinese government regarding steel and aluminum. If that investigation confirms these anti-competitive trade practices, then I'm calling on her to consider tripling the tariff rates for both steel imports and aluminum imports from China.
Listen to the seals clap.
We know that Chinese steel and aluminum are being imported in America through Mexico that avoids the tariff. And just yesterday, I had a delegation down in Mexico.
Oh, you mean like Donald Trump was saying a couple weeks ago when he said that Mexican that trade through Mexico of Chinese goods would be a bloodbath for the U.S. economy. Now Joe Biden is trying to co-opt the president's message, Donald Trump's messaging, right? This guy has no shame. No shame.
Mexico meeting with AMLO, the Mexican president, to address this issue. Mexico and the United States are going to work together to solve it, I promise you.
Who did he say? Who did he say?
And in Mexico meeting with AMLO, the Mexican president.
AMLO? I thought it was Obrador. Isn't the president of Mexico Obrador? Not AMLO? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I thought the president of Mexico was Obrador.
To address this issue. Mexico and the United States are going to work together to solve it, I promise you. I promise you.
I don't know who AMLO is.
Also taking a real hard look at the Chinese government's industrial practices when it comes to global shipbuilding, which is critical to our economy. We depend on a fleet of commercial shipping vessels to carry American products around the world. Shipbuilding is critical to our national security, including the strength of the United States Navy. That's why my administration takes it very seriously that U.S. Steel workers, along with 4 other unions, have asked us to investigate whether the Chinese government is using anti-competitive practices to artificially lower prices in the shipbuilding industry.
Andre Manuel Lopez Obrador.
And if the Chinese government is doing that, and the unfair taxes undermine free and fair trade competition in the shipping industry, I will take action. That investigation is going on. Taken together, these are strategic and targeted actions that are going to protect American workers and ensure fair competition. Meanwhile, my predecessor and the MAGA Republicans want across-the-board tariffs on all imports from all countries.
That's not true. This man is lying. This man is lying right now. Joe Biden is lying. Donald Trump only wants to put tariffs on Chinese-made goods coming through Mexico in order to avert U.S. tariffs, right? So China is cheating, right? And Donald Trump wants to punish Mexico for letting China cheat, right? not punish fucking Germany, right? Or England or anything like that. Right? He's full of shit.
That could badly hurt American
Hey, is that Liz Cheney right there?
consumers. It's estimated it would cost the average American family an average of $1,500 a year if they succeeded in doing that. Trump simply doesn't
Yeah, well, your fucking bad economic policies are costing the American family $15,000 a year.
get it. For years, I've heard many of my Republicans and even Democratic friends say that China's on the rise and America has been falling behind. You may have noticed the last 2 years I've been the only one disagreeing with that. I've always believed we got it all wrong. America is rising. We have the best economy in the world, which we do. And since I've come to office, our GDP is up, our trade deficit with China is down, the lowest level in over a decade, and we're standing up against Chinese government unfair economic practice and industrial overcapacity.
What the fuck did he just say?
In over a decade, and we're standing up against Chinese government unfair economic practice and industrial
Unfair economic
overcapacity. And we are the strongest economy in the world. In addition, and by the way, China's got more. I always say to my colleagues when I meet other world leaders, I say, would you trade places with China? Would you trade places with their problems? They've got a population that is more people in retirement than working. They're not importing any. They're not bringing. They're xenophobic. Nobody coming else.
Oh my God, this is so hard to listen to.
Real problems. I'm not looking for a fight with China. I'm looking for competition, but fair
Keep
competition.
making up facts, Joe. Indeed, fandom.
Peace and stability across the Taiwan Straits. I've revitalized our partnerships and our alliances in the Pacific with India, Australia, South Korea, the Philippines, and other Pacific Island nations. I made sure that we have the most advanced technologies that we've developed and invented, and they can't be sent to China or because they'll undermine our national security.
No, we'll just send them to Mexico, and Mexico will send them to China.
When I spoke with Xi Jinping, he said, why? I said, because you're using it for all the wrong reasons, so you're not going to get those advanced computer chips. Finally, for all this tough talk on China, it never occurred to my predecessor to do any of that. The bottom line is I want fair competition with China, not conflict. And we're in a stronger position to win the economic competition of the 21st century against China or anyone else because we're investing in America and American workers again, finally. You know, there's a law back in the 30s that passed about whether unions could exist. There's a provision that very few presidents ever paid attention to. If a president has sent money from the Congress to do something for the public, he must use American products and must use American workers, unless you couldn't find them. Well, guess what? A lot of them didn't find them, except me.
My ass.
Oh, I mean it.
Yeah, well, everything you say is a lie, you piece of shit.
Everything we build with an American product and with American workers.
Why is the old man yelling again? Old man yells at crowds.
And it doesn't violate any trade agreement. Thanks to my bipartisan infrastructure law, we announced over 51,000 new infrastructure projects all across America.
New infrastructure projects, i.e., repairing old roads and bridges. But they're new. They're new, guys.
So far, we're just getting started, including roads.
There has not been 1 mile of road built. There has been not one bridge built.
Roads, bridges, ports, airports, clean water systems.
Not one port. Not 1 mile of fucking water pipe run.
High-speed, affordable internet.
Not 1 meter of high-speed internet cable has been run into the country.
Across America. You may remember my predecessor promised...
Not one electric vehicle charging station has been built. Not one.
Infrastructure week after week.
He's full of shit.
After week. For 4 years. And never
that money went to training transgender black lesbians on how to lay cable for a world that's going to be built by satellite. Okay, let's go.
Nothing. No, I'm serious. Nothing. And by the way, these projects are going to be using American-made material, like American steel, American concrete, creating good paying American jobs, union jobs.
Wow, listen to the fucking SEALs ARP.
As
ARP.
I said, I already said it, but since the 30s, the law said we could do that. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And we're buying American. We are
Yeah, but
selling
that's not
American.
new
It's all about
construction.
America. We buy America.
Blind
The past
dude.
administration, including my predecessor, failed to uphold that Buy America provision. Not anymore. That's over. We American products and American workers. Look, folks, I signed the Inflation Reduction Act, the most significant law taking on climate change ever anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. We didn't get anybody to vote for it other than my Democratic.
Yes, because it was a giveaway to China, right? When he says the climate change legislation, what he means is we're going to buy more solar panels and batteries from China, right? And then he goes on to say it has to be American made, but America doesn't make solar panels. America doesn't make batteries.
Friends, okay? Well, guess what? That includes billions of dollars in investments in industries of the future, including clean American steel. It's clean because the way we produce it here emits much less carbon than steel made in China. Last month, my administration...
Sorry,
announced the
blind dude,
largest
I'm in my
investment ever
argumentative
in clean
attitude,
manufacturing
so I'm going
in
to
American
argue my
history, in
points
all
to
of
anyone.
history. That included up to $1.5 billion.
I'm in defensive
Six
mode.
clean steel projects across America. $1.5 billion. It's going to create and support thousands of union jobs, including at Butler Works and Lindora, over in Lindora, Pennsylvania. My predecessor and his Republican friends in Congress want to repeal that law. That would cut those jobs, and it would cut the jobs to repeal the law. I'm serious. I know when I say these things, you wonder, could they possibly be that stupid?
No, nobody wonders how stupid
shouldn't
you
say
could
it that
possibly
way.
be.
But I'm serious. Think about it. Just check it out. That's what they want to do, but that's not all. My predecessor rolled back protections for American workers. He opposed the increase overall federal minimum wage. He put union busters in the National Labor Relations Board. For real.
Yay!
Think what the board looked like before I became president. Not a joke. Not a joke.
It's not. That means it's a
Meanwhile,
lie.
since I was sworn in as president because of you.
It's not a joke. It's an outright lie.
Together. Through my American Rescue Plan, I enacted the Butch-Lewis Act, the most significant law for union workers and retirees in 50 years. Think what would happen if we didn't get that passed, and none of them wanted to help me.
Absolutely
Got
nothing.
it done. It protected the hard-earned pensions of more than 120,000
My
steel workers.
predecessor.
Folks, you've had my back, and I promise I have your back.
My ass.
You made that happen while my predecessor never lifted a finger
You ain't even got my ass, Joe.
to help. I also increased the federal minimum wage for federal contracts. People appointed to the National Labor Relations Board actually care about American workers.
Yes, and that it was what started the beginnings of the wage price spiral here in the United States, which is going to lead to runaway inflation, right? No matter what they do, there's only one outcome. More inflation.
So far, we've created 15 million, as mentioned earlier, new jobs, a record.
My ass. My ass. You have created 5 million jobs, and 4 million of them were either in healthcare or government, right? Meaning, effectively, you've created 1 million new jobs, which is the lowest of any president in history.
In a term of
Well, in the modern era, anyway.
492,000 new jobs so far in Pennsylvania alone.
No, those are recovered jobs, sir. You are a lie. You are such a liar, sir. You are such a liar that your pants are on fire. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Under my predecessor, who's busy right now,
Oh, yeah, because I waged the fucking Department of fucking Justice to fucking fund Alvin Bragg in order to bring bullshit charges against the president so that I can actually have a chance of fucking winning. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit, and you're going to go down in history as one of the most corrupt, evil, ineffective, weak, and wrong people that ever have held the office.
Pennsylvania lost
What's up, Shep?
275,000 jobs. I mean, let's look at the facts. On
The
my
facts.
watch, unemployment.
Yeah, under my predecessor, Pennsylvania lost 200,000 jobs if we only count the end, right, during the fucking pandemic. This guy is such a piece of shit. He is such a liar.
Employment hasn't been this low for this long.
Hey, what's up, Salty Alaskan? Long time no see, brother.
Wages are rising. American manufacturing is booming. We've created up close to 800,000 new manufacturing jobs since I became president, including 28,000 manufacturing jobs right here in Pennsylvania. We've
Lies.
attracted $680 billion. Let me say it again. $680 billion in private sector investment in advanced manufacturing and clean energy here in America, including
The private sector investment, right, that was fucking subsidized by your tax dollars.
$4 billion just here in the state of Pennsylvania so far. Folks, instead of importing foreign products and exporting American jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs.
Lies.
Think all the time. Think of the last years, where they'd go. Corporate America wanted to go find the cheapest labor in the world, send the jobs
Yes,
over.
they wanted to find the cheapest labor in the world, so I let millions of fucking undocumented, uneducated, unskilled workers into the country to lower the value of labor here in the country so that they would stay here. Do you see what he's saying?
Overseas and then import the product home. Not anymore.
I've been
Together, we're doing
good,
what's
Salty
always been special
Alaskan.
in this country. We're investing in all of America and all Americans. And we're building an economy. from the
Invest
middle
in
out,
bottle
not-
caps.
and the bottom
If you
up.
guys don't know, bottle caps are the currency in the Fallout universe, right? When Uzi says invest in bottle caps, what he's saying is get prepared for worldwide nuclear annihilation.
Not the top down. Because when we do that, the poor have a ladder up, and the middle class do well, and the wealthy still do very well.
Yep.
We all do well.
I love you, Uzi. You are so fucking on it, bro.
Look, let me close with this. I just came from my hometown, Scranton, Pennsylvania. A place like Pittsburgh that sort of climbs into your heart and never leaves you, and it really doesn't.
I thought your hometown was Claymont, Delaware. I thought you were raised by the Puerto Rican community in Wilmington, Delaware. I thought you were raised by Jewish people.
My mom didn't live in Scranton since she was 1954, but when you'd ask Mom where she's from, she'd say, Scranton. Scranton. Well, where you learn basic value set, like you do here. Money doesn't determine your worth, I would always be told. Everyone's entitled to be treated with dignity and respect. My dad used to say a job's about a lot more than a paycheck, worth a lot more than a paycheck.
Oh, shut the fuck
It's about
up.
your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being treated with respect. And you'd say, I give my word. These are phrases you always use. You say, not only being able to have respect, being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Mean it. Look, everyone deserves a fair shot, just a fair shot. And we're going to leave no one behind. Folks, that's my view of the economy from Scranton, from Pittsburgh, from thousands of working middle-class neighbors all across America.
Okay, we still have news
The
after
future
this,
of everyone
guys.
Together. As I said, I always think of my dad. I really mean it.
What's up, Steve?
My dad, during the war, he didn't get to go to college. He was from as they say in Baltimore. He was from Baltimore, and his father then worked for American Oil Company, moved to Wilmington.
What the
then
fuck
to
is this
Scranton,
fucking
opened up
What the
Station.
fuck is this geezer on about? To say it like I was from the UK. Hey, what the fuck is this geezer on about?
But he always would come home and he'd go back and close the business. He didn't own it. He was a manager of the dealership. And he'd say a job is a lot more than a paycheck. And it really is. It's about treating people with dignity. It's about treating them with respect. And look, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, folks. Because of you, the American work, I've never been more optimistic about America's future, and I mean it. I really, truly am.
Well, that's because you're a
When
dementia
my son
patient.
died, I decided
Nobody watching this right now is optimistic about our future. Wow, we all said the same fucking thing, didn't we? Oh my God. Great minds think alike, huh, guys?
He spent a year in Iraq, and unfortunately, his hooch was next to a burn pit. and he went one of the most fit guys in his regiment, and he came home with stage 4 glioblastoma. More brain injuries.
Yeah, speaking of brain injuries, no one's had more brain injuries than Joe Biden. Do you guys know that he's had 2 brain surgeries? All right, let's hear it
He came
again.
home with stage 4 glioblastoma. More brain injuries for folks fighting in Iraq than any other place in the world. Remember what happened to all those firemen in 9/11? Same thing happened because these burn pits are just awful. They put everything from human
They killed my son, Joe Biden.
waste.
What brain? Indeed, indeed. Well, his brain is cream of wheat now, guys.
And so I wasn't going to run.
Oh, listen to that awkward pause. Let's hear it again.
From human waste to and so I wasn't going to run.
Oh my God.
But
Oh my God.
what happened was when he passed, you remember that
What?
right after that. Well, you don't remember
What?
when he passed in 2015.
Oh, I'm just gonna have to stop. I shouldn't go into it.
And I wasn't going to run. I was going to write a book.
Oh my God, this is so
inflection
bad.
Points in American history where.
Oh my God. This is our representative on the world stage right now as World War III, according to some sources, has already started, guys. This is terrible that this is going on.
Actions we take in a short period of time.
It's
determine-
painful to watch this man. We just have to rewind it again, just so you can see, just so we can all see how bad it really is.
Going to run. Same thing happened because these burn pits are just awful. They put everything from human waste to and I.
Listen to
And so
how
I
bad
wasn't
his
gonna
brain
run.
works.
But what happened was when he passed, you remember that
You don't remember anything, sir.
right after that. Well, you don't remember when he passed in 2015. And I wasn't going to run. I was going to write a book about inflection points in American history where the actions we take in a short period of time determine what happens in the next 5 or 6 decades. Well, that's one of the places we're at right now. And when those
We're at an inflection point, guys.
folks came walking out of those fields down in Charlottesville, Virginia, carrying
I said it before and I'll say it again. What in the fuck is this old geezer on about?
Nazi banners singing the same garbage that they sang in Hitler streets in Germany in the 30s, carrying torches.
Yes,
About
girl,
the
he
Ku
does
Klux
need to
Klan,
go.
And a young woman was killed.
This is
I
embarrassing to
decided
our
that
country.
I had to run. I had to run. Our democracy is at stake. And it really is. But you know what changed it? When you make the economy grow, when you stand up and ordinary people have an even shot, and they're not at all susceptible to the garbage that's fed from these guys.
No, the only garbage that's being fed to us is the fucking diarrhea. It's not even diarrhea. The fucking constipated, hard fiber poop nuggets that are coming out of your mouth, sir.
And it's pure garbage.
You're the only one feeding us garbage, right? Well, besides Monsanto.
I'm supposed to stop. I should keep going. The folks
Yeah, right, let's rewind.
fed from these guys. And it's pure garbage. I'm supposed to stop. I should keep going.
He's supposed to stop and he shouldn't keep going, right? That's because everyone can see how broken this man's brain is. He should be removed from office immediately. Immediately.
But folks, look. You gotta just remember who we are. And I can't, well,
I can't remember, apparently. I guess he can't remember who we are. Oh my God. Oh my God.
but folks, look. You gotta just remember who we are. And I can't, well,
Oh my God.
when I left Scranton today, I wanted to go to the war memorial that has the names of all the Scrantonians who died in World War II. etched
Oh my God, dude, this is so hard to watch. Oh my God. Oh, why? Why is this our president? Oh, that's right, he stole. This is what happens when elections are stolen, guys. This is what happens when we let them steal our elections.
into
Nobody voted for this.
because I wanted to see where my
I don't care how dumb you think
Uncle
Americans
Bosey
are.
Andrews
We
James
never voted
Finnegan,
for this.
where his name was etched. Back when D-Day occurred, and on Sunday, the next day, my mother's 4 brothers all went down to the recruiting station and joined the military. Every one of them volunteered. And my uncle, they called him Ambrose.
Oh, thank you, Ronnie.
My Uncle Bosey was a hell of an athlete, they told me when he was a kid. And he became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. And he got shot down in New Guinea. And they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea. And then my son volunteered to go to Iraq for a year, and he came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. And they gave, like many of you,
Oh my God, this is so hard to watch.
They gave their lives for the country. They're heroes.
I don't even know what he's saying.
One of the things that
I have no idea what this geezer's on about, right? I have no idea what he's saying. All I know is it's very painful to watch and embarrassing to me as an American citizen, right? I'm embarrassed by this. I have no idea, Shemp. I have no idea. All I know is that every word that comes out of his mouth pushes China closer to the Philippines, pushes Russia closer to Finland and Poland, right? Right? Pushes fucking Iran closer to nuking Israel, right? Right? Yes. Turning Gun says, this is, I can't wait, and wait, I want, yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. Guys, I have big news to talk about after this, so let's just stay with me.
doing that today.
I know this is hard to watch.
Of what my opponent said in Paris not too long ago. They asked him to go visit American grave sites. He said no, he wouldn't do it because they were all suckers and losers. I'm not making that up.
Yes, you are.
Staff will
He
really
is making.
acknowledge it today.
The thing
Suckers and losers.
is he is making that up. He is making that up.
That man doesn't deserve
It's just another hoax by the media against our president, Donald Trump, because they have nothing on him. So they have to make fake laws and fake hoaxes, right? You would think if Donald Trump ever fucking farted in church, we would know about it, right? The man hasn't even farted in church, guys, or else we would know about it. And all they have against him is lies. Lies.
to have been the commander-in-chief for my son.
Oh my God. We're going to
Suckers and
rewind it.
losers. I'm not making that up.
Listen to how broken this man's brain is.
Staff will listen and acknowledge it today. Suckers and losers. That man doesn't deserve to have been the commander-in-chief.
Is
for
he
my
mitching out on us?
son.
I think Biden just mitched out on us, guys. Holy shit. We've been doing this for almost 4 years now, guys. And I've never seen him this broken. It does hurt to watch, Shemp. It hurts. That's why we're going to watch it again.
Losers. I'm not making that up. Staff will listen and acknowledge it today. Suckers and losers. That man doesn't deserve to have been the commander-in-chief for my son, my uncle. So, folks, we got a lot of work to do, but I'm confident we can do it, and I mean it. I've never been more optimistic about our possibilities as a nation.
Oh, he's acting choked up? Okay, I can't really tell. I can't tell if he's acting choked up or if his brain is literally out on vacation right now. It could be anything, guys. What I know for sure is that this man is inauthentic, right? He comes across as fake and not genuine. He's fake crying, okay.
Out and get them, remember? For the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. Nothing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
He's Rachel Maddow. All right, that was the so-called President of the United States. Now, as promised, I have a lot of news for you guys. Once again, it's time. Stop, Weird Al. That's what we're going to show later. Yes. Okay, so